Who is in control of your life and schedule? Are you in control of how your time is used each day? Or are you a victim of your schedule and the circumstances in your life? Most of us would have to admit that we are often slaves to our schedules rather than possessors of our time. There are a lot of time management ideas out there today. Some are helpful, some are not. It is a relevant topic for discussion. How can I get control of my time and my life? The Apostle Paul addressed the issue in Ephesians 5:16. His teaching was simple. Make the most of every chance you get. These are desperate times. Here we learn something that will help us get control of our time. To get control of our time, we must, first of all, make a practice of yielding it to Christ at the beginning of each day. The teaching is redeeming the time. Redeeming suggests recovering something from waste. In this case, it is our time. It is the opposite of missing opportunities. Submitting to Christ will increase our productivity and allow God to accomplish His will and purpose through us. The point is that we get control of our time by yielding it to Christ as the Lord of our lives. If we try to control it, it ends up controlling us. If we submit to God and His plans, we may be just as tired at the end of the day, but our day will be much more productive. When we submit to Christ in anything, we begin to have His mind about it. We will live much more like Him if our time becomes His time. He creates the day, and He crafts opportunities for the best contributions of life we can make in it. If He controls our time, He will accomplish all that He wills through us. To control our time, we must secondly move swiftly on opportunities presented to us. Redeeming the time, or making the most of every chance, means that when God presents us with an opportunity, we must act on it, or it may be missed eternally. Each opportunity comes our way only once. Sometimes God gives second opportunities, but it is never the same opportunity. Paul gave us the picture of a youth running by with one forelock of hair on his head. If he was to be seized by that forelock, he'd have to be seized quickly. God engineers certain circumstances and puts us in places of opportunity that, if missed, will leave us less productive than we could have been. To control your time and your life, you must also manage the selection of your tasks. Make the most of every chance you get. These are desperate times. Paul's point here is that there are many things that clamor for our attention these days. The days are filled with opportunities that have nothing to do with God's will and plan for us. We invest too much of our time in extraneous pursuits. Think of the time we waste each day chasing after things that are trivial and meaningless. We may think, but I am using my time wisely. Are we? Many of our activities today will have to do with God's will for our lives, but not all of them. There are a lot of things that keep us busy, but not all business is constructive business. Our time should be invested doing God's will and living by the teachings of His Word. We need to seek the mind of Christ in the selection of our activities of the day. Remember that leisure, rightly planned, is helpful. Laziness never produces anything. Selecting our investment of time, we should ask, is it in sync with God's Word? Does it strengthen our relationship with Christ? Is it consistent with His life in us? Will it glorify Him? Is it challenging enough to require God's working in us to accomplish it? Will it use the gifts and abilities God has gifted to us? Is it appropriate for this season of our lives? Remember Solomon's words in Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is an opportune time to do things, a right time for everything on earth. If Christ is in control of our time and life, we will be in control.